This morning on The Dish, we head west to Los Angeles for a taste of the Philippines with Chef Lord Maynard Liera. His restaurant, Kuya Lord, a moniker fusing a word meaning older brother and his first name, has earned Liera a claim far grander than his cozy dining room would suggest. Brooks Silva Braga's here with his story and more. Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. Liera's a veteran of numerous well-regarded LA kitchens, but has now struck out on his own in a big way with counter service and communal seating. We stopped by to find out how his dishes earned Liera one of 2024's highest honors.
Got a rice bowl para me?
From inside this modest LA kitchen, Lord Maynard Liera
Parkawali rice bowl, Lucena chun bowl.
is trying to turn a collection of little-known dishes into American staples.
I need pork chow mein, no topping, to go.
Their recipes rooted in the Calabarzon region of the Philippines.
The story of my menu is my childhood food favorites.
His childhood makes Liera an unlikely figure to be sweating in this tiny kitchen. While most immigrants come to America to achieve riches, Lord Maynard came to escape them.
Maids, cooks, chauffeur, so like I don't really do anything much than going to school.
Yeah.
Like basically a brat.
Did you like cooking as a kid?
No. Do I like to work as a kid? No. I never done anything. That's the reason why I decided to come to America.
Because you were spoiled.
Because I was spoiled, yeah.
So spoiled little brat
Yeah.
decides he wants to come to the U.S. with what vision?
Like, oh man, I'm just gonna be like this forever? Like, how can I teach my kids, my future kids, how to live on their own if me, myself, don't know how to clean my own bedroom?
And so Liera moved to New York with no support from his family, he says, and took a job he'd only seen his maids do.
The first time I used my broom and start sweeping the floor or mopping, I called my mom right away. Like, hey mom, guess what? I'm mopping the floor. So,
And she says
and
what?
she's so proud. She's so proud of me.
Why?
You know? Because she knows that I'm never gonna do that back home.
Yes, Liera had grander ambitions, and after completing culinary school, began cooking at LA staples like Bestia, then working as culinary director for the H. Wood Hospitality Group, opening steakhouses and Italian places. His real dream, though, was to open his own restaurant, serving Filipino food. But for 16 years, he put that off, thinking he needed to learn just a bit more. Then, when the pandemic crushed the restaurant business, Liera finally started selling his own food, modestly, out of his backyard. Almost immediately, though, Instagram noticed, and then the wider world. And I see you have the big LA Times review just right here on the wall. They wrote, "A gripping new expressionist of Filipino cooking, a talent whose time has arrived." Important?
It is very important.
The review helped supercharge interest in Liera's food.
Yeah, I was excited when I showed up.
LA Times critic Bill Addison wrote that review. He asked that we hide his face. Critics like to eat anonymously, so they won't get special treatment from chefs like Liera.
He looks at me every time I come in, maybe like, oh, you've been in before, but I don't think he's made me yet.
He says he has not.
Ah, success. Oh, yeah. Filipino food will incorporate, sorry, I'm talking with my mouth full.
Hazard of the job.
These sour flavors that are appealing, the umami, sometimes some sweetness. It's just the contrast that you get all in one place.
Addison agrees with Liera
Sweet or savory marinade?
that these flavors could become as popular as Japanese or Thai food. And this summer, that effort got a boost when the James Beard Foundation named Liera the best chef in the entire state of California. I don't want to make too much of it, but did it mean anything to you to kind of be representing this whole category of restaurant that normally doesn't get represented?
It took me a month to, process that, but it means a lot. It's good for my restaurant, but also the other Filipino restaurant. We need to push more and show people like, please try our food.
So what will America find if it embraces Liera's vision of Filipino food?
This is the beef tapa.
Okay.
That's the savory beef.
What is the sauce?
The sauce is my house-made spiced vinegar.
Okay.
And then this is the Lucena chon.
It's a hybrid of Filipino pork belly and Italian porchetta, one of many ways Liera mixes the unfamiliar with the unmistakable.
I feel like this salad wouldn't be out of place at, any place selling avocado
Yes.
toast in this town.
I do my own versions. I make everything in-house, even my vinegar, you see my chili oil,
Oh, it's such a surprise.
right? Like my Asian Caesar salad.
What is going on here? I thought it was gonna be totally boring. It's like maybe the best thing.
A fan of shrimp? How about French prawns covered in garlic crab sauce? If you're into kale or spinach, try the braised taro leaves. For dessert, calamansi pie, topped with a coconut whipped cream.
It's my Filipino version of key lime pie.
Okay.
By twisting tastes we already love, Liera's food is winning lots of converts and creating conversions within his own home. Maynard's wife, Gigi, a lawyer by training, has joined the business. Her first ever restaurant work was during the pandemic, when she prepared food in the garage before working shifts for her law firm.
I help him, like we wake up early in the morning, like maybe 5 a.m. or like 6 a.m.
It got to be a lot.
Yes, especially we have like kids, like
Oh my God. Pandemic was hard enough without running a restaurant out of your house.
yeah. But they were helping us.
Okay, what were they doing?
They were like building the boxes for the food trays. They're really like expert doing that really fast. And yeah, it's fun for them. They love to help.
In the home and kitchen Lord Maynard Liera now presides over, there are no slackers.
I always tell everyone, if you're gonna do something, do it like perfect. If you're doing good, then you're lazy. It needs to be the best.
You're done being lazy.
Yeah.
You were lazy long enough.
I'm lazy long enough, then yeah.
And the hustle continues. Liera plans to open other Kuya Lords in cities around the country.
I love that it is coming to America in his story, basically.
Yeah,
Amazing.
And you taste it and you think this would do well anywhere.
yeah.
we got to get out to LA. And
I will be there next week.
So will I.
We'll send you the
Invite me over.
Nice job, Brooke. Thank you.
On the dish this morning, the food of Baja taken to a whole new level. Baja, the Mexican peninsula in between the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of California, has long been celebrated for its fish tacos. At Ambrusia in La Paz, you'll get that and a whole lot more. It is a hidden gem, maybe hidden no more, that got its start on social media. Lalo Pino grew up in La Paz, a coastal city near the southern tip of Baja.
La Paz means the peace, so you can know why.
He knew early on his taste buds weren't like everyone else. But Pino didn't really have any option to formally train that talent. How did this start?
It's probably because of Instagram. I was cooking at home a lot. I used to post everything that I cook at home and making a description of the dishes I was making at home.
You say you cook without borders and without rules.
Without rules.
What does that mean?
Because I didn't have a proper culinary school, so I learned in the street.
Pino learned at places like Mac Fisher, where fried fish, tortilla, and toppings have been turned into pitch-perfect tacos for generations. We're here at 10 o'clock in the morning, and the tacos are humming.
Yeah, probably since 9 in the morning. It's a local breakfast.
Pino took those childhood meals and kicked them into overdrive. All of this food is Baja food, but it doesn't look like Baja food.
Well, all of these foods is a lot of what if.
What if became Pino's Instagram? And the next question became, what if those Instagram dishes became a restaurant? Which turned into Ambrusia, helped along by Pino's business partner, Carlo Allen Pozo, who knew he saw something special in an aspiring chef.
We came here because we saw something that everybody was watching at home, through Instagram, and said like, hey, let's go a little bit bigger and try to, showcase everything that he does here, and everybody loved it.
Today, Pozo and Pino run a restaurant that is bursting with small plates and growing crowds.
The mix of people who come in here, he said it's 50% tourists and 50% locals about.
Yes.
And most of the tourists are Americans.
Most of them, a lot of also Mexican tourism.
And everybody gets surprised as usually, like, I was expecting this, you know? Like,
They didn't, it's like, it's so, I mean, it just looks amazing.
This is normal food, but it is at the same time, you know? That's why we love it.
For their dish presentation, Pino and Pozo served up 10 plates, every one of them unique. There was pork jowl taco, called Meme, with a sweet and sour sauce made with Coca-Cola, and chili de árbol, grilled cheese, bacon quesadilla.
So it has Mexican cheese inside and cheddar cheese from California on the outside.
And your dad makes the
cheese.
Mexican cheese
Yes.
in here. Good job, Dad.
That's one hell of a quesadilla.
That is one of the best dishes I've ever had in my life.
Glass noodles topped with pork belly and chicharron.
Like, how do you come up with this?
What if?
Brassico, broccoli and cauliflower over a mustard dressing. Quesadilla, parts of a whole cow slow cooked over 14 hours au jus with adobo chilies. Shrimp tostada with homemade cheese and bacon.
Just by watching him eat, it's like I'm getting a little bit, you know, of
Hungry?
yeah.
Eat! Smoked fish tostada with umami aioli and ceviche on top.
Amazing. And the smokiness, it really is like a fish barbecue.
Yeah, it's probably like
that. No, put it like that, but yes.
Taco with pork belly and a date mole, with chocolate, 2 different kinds of chili, and 4 different kinds of walnuts. A cheeseburger with pesto and bacon, and beef tripe with octopus and sesame seed dressing. It's Baja, but with a little what if thrown in.
If you guys don't stop soon, you're gonna have everybody rushing to Baja immediately. So thank you. Cheers.
Thanks to you guys.
Well done.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, turning now to our series, The Dish. This morning, we're introducing you to a chef making a name for himself with a unique approach to pizza. We all know about a classic New York slice, right? We all know that. A hearty Chicago deep dish, and even a crispy Detroit pan pizza. But we are betting that you have never heard of Pittsburgh-style pizza. And not only have you probably not heard of it, you definitely wouldn't expect to find it in Los Angeles, which notoriously lacks its own signature variety of pizza. So Jamie Yuccas has been exploring in LA and shows us a spot called Gorilla Pies, bringing some unlikely Pittsburgh flair to the City of Angels.
For a taste of the Steel City, look no further than LA's San Fernando Valley. Here, at an unassuming strip mall next to a kosher bakery in a Jewish neighborhood, you'll find Gorilla Pies, where Chef Ben Osher is combining a wild mix of flavors you'd never expect to find on a pizza.
It's a hybrid kimchi and sauerkraut.
Oh, that's good. It's like a little salty, a little crunchy, a little spicy.
That's what Osher calls krautchi, and it goes on a pizza named the Rabbi. It's basically a Reuben sandwich on a pie, with his take on Thousand Island as the base, followed by Swiss cheese, purple cabbage, pastrami, and even caraway seeds to make the crust smell and taste like seeded rye bread. Jake Osher is Ben's brother, the shop's co-owner, and its unofficial pizza taste tester.
The crazier it is, like, you know, is the better for me.
And that's part of the Pittsburgh style, right?
Absolutely.
Anything goes.
If you've not heard of Pittsburgh-style pizza, Ben thinks he may be the first to coin the term. Part of the secret?
That's our standard pizza cheese. It's half mozzarella, half provolone. That's a very Pittsburgh influence.
And if it all seems a bit unorthodox, well, read the sign on the door. It's Osher, not kosher. Ben's inspiration comes from an extensive culinary past, including a stint at a Michelin-starred Indian restaurant and years at the high-end sushi giant Nobu.
Do you use what you learned from Nobu even in your pizza now?
Absolutely. Japanese food is all about finding the best quality ingredients and not messing with them too much and presenting them in a very beautiful way.
Ben's career came to a head in 2020. He was working as the executive chef at a hotel in Hollywood and lost his job during the pandemic. So he began experimenting with new ideas in his apartment, to the delight of his brother, who was living just a short stroll away.
You got cauliflower pork belly, classic margarita. It was pretty complicated, and the pizzas didn't even fit in my oven.
I didn't mind.
Well, it sounds like a gorilla pizza.
Exactly.
That's guerrilla, like the warfare. But the pizzas didn't stay underground for long.
We were playing around with names like that. I'm like, why don't we just do Gorilla the Animal? So we had the name, the branding, the food's amazing, and we were like, let's just try it.
Selling home-cooked pizza via social media, Gorilla Pies quickly gained a reputation in the neighborhood. And then someone called the health department.
So I kind of took that as an omen that it was like time to stop doing the pop-up and go legit. My father just started doing research and found this listed on Facebook via a website called sellingrestaurants.com. Who knew that existed?
The space had previously been a kosher pizzeria. And though that's no longer the case, Ben told us maintaining the spot's Jewish identity is a point of pride.
Tell me about that picture in front of you.
So to our best knowledge, it is 1920 Toledo, Ohio, and we think due to the apples on the table that it's Rosh Hashanah.
Ah.
And the baby, that's my great aunt.
Wow.
And I love this guy. He's my favorite.
Do you know who he is?
A relative, an uncle. We'll just call him the rabbi.
But this rabbi isn't kosher.
No, he's still a Jew.
After meeting the namesake of Gorilla Pie's signature pizza, we went into the kitchen to make it. And just a few minutes later,
this is smelling amazing.
It was time to sit down for some slices with the Osher brothers. We tried the kitten, Ben's take on a margarita pizza, the Green Monster, a pesto pie topped with fried shiitake mushrooms, and of course, the rabbi.
Do you already have 2 down?
Don't judge me. This is my job, okay?
For Ben Osher, the gig is sentimental. A former fine dining chef getting back to the preferred comfort food of his childhood.
I'm inspired by pizza. Pizza is universal. You know, you're hard-pressed to find anybody on the planet that's like, pizza? No, I don't want that. Now it's shiitake time.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Jamie Yukas in Los Angeles.
And now you know what Pittsburgh-style pizza is, so you learned something today.
This morning on The Dish, we head to San Francisco, where Chef David Nayfeld has shown you can come home again. The Bay Area native and son of Soviet Jewish immigrants was classically trained, first at the Culinary Institute of America, then in some of the finest kitchens in the U.S. and Europe. Through work and travels, Nayfeld found a connection with food that he wanted to pass on to diners. It's what's behind his award-winning restaurant, Che Fico, described as Italian cuisine through a California lens. As for the name itself, colloquially, it means so cool, which at Che Fico pretty much describes every aspect.
San Francisco's Che Fico is a feast for the senses. All of the senses.
It's loud and vibrant, and the food is unpretentious and unapologetic. And we are very, very serious about the quality, but we're not very, very serious about ourselves.
No talking, just eating.
Chef and co-owner David Nayfeld opened the Italian Taverna 4 years ago with business partner Matt Brewer. In Nayfeld's words, it was kismet.
The second that I walked in this former auto body shop, and the skylights were beaming through, and I saw the vaulted ceilings, and I saw the big sign with the arrow on it, I got chills down my spine, and I felt like for the first time I said, this is really where my restaurant needs to be. I need to be here. So pasta out.
As for the food,
I wanted to cook food that I wanted to eat daily. I wanted a restaurant where I could see regulars, and I wanted craveability.
Nayfeld calls the cuisine rustic finesse, something you'd find in a small cabin in the Italian countryside, or a Tuscan villa. Dishes like chicken marsala and margarita pizza with a crust befitting San Francisco, or even the Cucina Hebraica, Kay Fico's Jewish cuisine, which honors the chef's heritage.
We have our kind of Roman Jewish ghetto staple, which is a soupli, risotto rice on the inside, and then when you break it, it's melty cheese, a street food. It's just one of the most delicious and kind of comforting things you could ever eat.
Oh my God. Nayfeld grew up in San Francisco. His parents escaped religious persecution in the Soviet Union, fleeing to Rome before settling in the U.S.
The great thing was that they looked at my brother and I and said, you know, we've made all these sacrifices and we had a dream for you guys to be able to live the lives you wanted to live. So do the things that make you happy. Don't do things only for money. I'm good with the Beagley and I'm good with the Mezzaluna.
For Nayfeld, it turned out to be a little of both, finding happiness and money washing dishes at a local restaurant.
School was just never something that connected, right, for me. I just missed everything that was said. And it was just painful for me to sit in a classroom. The second I walked into a kitchen, I was pointing at a stack of pots and pans, grease everywhere, soap suds coming over the edge of the dish pit, and I just felt it. I felt like I was in my place. I understood what was going on, and it just made sense from that moment.
He says ADHD was what made traditional school so difficult, but when he got to culinary school, everything changed.
I had never done well in math. I had never done well in geography, never done well in science. The second that you applied any of those things with the filter of food, wine, and hospitality, all of a sudden my mind was able to pick it up.
From the Culinary Institute of America, Nayfeld began to build a resume few can match, working in world-renowned kitchens like Nobu, 11 Madison Park, and The Mansion. Among the things he learned:
refinement, an eye for excellence, and an unwillingness to compromise on excellence and on integrity.
The manifestation was Kay Fico, where Nayfeld says he found his true voice as a chef, creating connection by using seasonal and market-driven foods, like the sun-gold tomato and San Francisco Bay anchovy salad, or a simple small melon plate with olive oil, basil, and mint.
They sing together, it's harmonious, and I think that that's the key to our cuisine, really, is this idea of finding finesse.
The sweet corn trangoli, another perfect example. Pureed sweet corn inside handmade pasta, topped with corn, chanterelle mushrooms, and chives.
I love this. This, to me, this is summer flavors. So, once again, simplicity, not over-adorning it, not trying to show too many techniques. The technique is the quality of pasta, the perfection of the cook, and the sourcing of the ingredients, right? Very, very simple.
And while Nayfeld clearly takes pride in each bite,
dark chocolate and hazelnuts, it's one of my favorite pairings.
He admits his priorities shifted when he became a father to now 3.5-year-old Elena.
My restaurant functions without me every single day. The team that we've cultivated here is incredibly talented.
That's why it works.
And it works because they're incredibly talented. They buy into the ethos and the values. We compensate incredibly well, which is something that I cannot, state enough, which is fair compensation is tantamount to our industry moving forward.
It's why Kay Fico raised its wages and its prices post-pandemic.
We've been able to include a profit-sharing model with our team. We distributed $70,000 from 1/4 of profits to our staff. Folks who have been here for a number of years, managers, dishwashers.
Front of house, back of house.
Everybody. What we're doing is we are really creating a space for people to come, to learn, and to have security in themselves and in their lives, and not feel like they have to sacrifice every shred of human dignity in order to just be here.
What do you hope somebody who comes in here just to dine walks away with?
Simply put, I just want people to enjoy the moment, right? And I want you to order something that makes you happy. I don't necessarily need people to be batted over the head with the fact that we roll every sheet of pasta by hand and we make ragu over 12 hours and that we put 36-month Parmigiano Reggiano on it. Those are all things that we know for our own satisfaction of our craft, of our métier. The guests should just know that they love it and that they're enjoying it, and that's all.
And, you know, he's doing all these things in his restaurant, but also fighting for other restaurants and those in the food service industry to start to make some of this more normal, those wages, the increased wages, so that this doesn't have to be about only the privileged or you can't afford to do this job.
What was so interesting, he said that his employees bought into the ethos and values, and that's what makes this incredible team. But what seemed to be evident with him and with so many others doing well post-pandemic is that they bought in to their staff.
That's right. That's exactly it.
You have to pay them more because there's so many opportunities for them, and it's so difficult for every restaurant now to still to find work.
Exactly. A dry Negroni. Cheers to Kate Fico.
Cheers.
Sorry, the food does not travel from the West
heck,
Coast well, but I brought you a drink.
All right. Nice.